Okay, guys, welcome. So, if you're here, you are here because you have Beat Saber and your playlists have disappeared after the latest update. So, they came out with an update recently, and now it's on version 1.6. But if you're on 1.6, you have lost all of your playlists because there is currently uh, no support for it. We have to wait for the mods to update, but there is a workaround that you can use to get your playlist back now without having to wait for a mod update. So, I'm going to show you how to do that here. And it's quite easy. We just have to do a couple things. And this is what we have to do. So you have to go to your Beat Saber location. So my Beat Saber is on Oculus. So for me, it's on my second hard drive. So it's under Oculus software, and then this huge thing. Once we get here, uh, we should have our mods already installed. So if you don't have your mods installed, then the first thing you need to do is actually come up here and get Mod Assistant. Then you need to go through and install whatever mod you want on version 1.6. But you have to have the Song Core installed. So make sure you have Song Core installed. But we've already got our mods installed. So we're going to skip that and come into our Beat Saber location. And inside of here, we have a couple folders. So one of them is this Beat Saber data custom levels. And inside of custom levels is where all your downloaded songs are stored. So because we've already gone through and updated ours, there are currently no songs in this folder. But that's because we renamed our old folder and added GG at the end, so GG. And this is all of our songs that we've downloaded. This is what your custom levels looks like if you have songs that you've already downloaded. Now the problem with this is the mod hasn't been updated to recognize this any longer. So this is the old way of doing things, and this is no longer recognized. It will load these songs. You'll be able to access these songs and play them, but you won't see any playlist. So when you launch Beat Saber, you'll get a custom songs option, and then it'll give you just custom, which is all of them, or the width, which for me is empty, and that's it. Your playlist will be gone. So here's how we're going to fix this. First, go to your Beat Saber location, and then for right now, I would rename your custom levels to something else, but it's not necessary. But first thing you need to do is figure out where you're going to store your playlist. Now, you can create your playlists anywhere you want, but they're going to be a bunch of folders. So each playlist you have is going to be turned into a folder. So you need to decide where you're going to have all these folders. For me, it was just easier and simpler to use the playlist folder. So Beat Saber already has a playlist folder. So for me, it's easier just to use this since we already have all these playlists anyways. And then you're going to want to create a folder for each playlist. So, for example, I have Heidi Fabulosa, and that matches this playlist. So there's already a playlist called Heidi Fabulosa, and we just mimicked that name into a new folder. So go through each of your playlists that you have in this playlist folder And wherever you want to create your playlist folders, go ahead and create a new folder and name it the title of the playlist. Now, you can name it whatever you want, but it's a billion times easier just to name it the playlist name. But you could technically come in here and go a bunch of different letters, and that'd be perfectly fine. It just wouldn't make any sense to you. So, go through and create a new folder for each playlist. And then once you have that folder or folders, you're going to have to go through and figure out what songs are in that playlist. The easiest way to do it is to open up a playlist viewer. So you can do it the hard way, and you can turn around and be like, okay, open with, and then you can go notepad, and then down here towards the bottom it'll start listing out every song that is in that playlist. But that's just hard to view, so if you have Beat Drop or another playlist viewer, it's easier just to load that and click on playlist, and then you can come in here and view all the songs. Oh, that's true. All the songs that are on that playlist. And it will give you like all the names for all those songs. Now mine's freaking out. Mine's telling me all these exclamation points because we renamed the folder, so it can't find these songs. But that's fine. We don't care. We don't want it to find the songs. So go through and do that for all your playlists. And what you can do is, hey, give me this back. So once you choose a playlist, so if we chose Heidi or we chose, let's see, what else can we choose? We chose Jeremy. And we wanted to create that playlist. We would create a new folder called Jeremy. So I've already started this playlist. And then what you need to do once you have a folder named the playlist is you need to get the songs. So every song that's in this playlist, and yes, I know this is a girly playlist, but too bad. You need to move the songs from their default location into this folder. So what we're going to do is go through and we're going to go back to this Beat Saber data and this custom levels, and we're going to move all these songs that are in this playlist into this folder that is named the same thing as the playlist. So, for example, we have Panic at the Disco. Now, when you're looking for the songs, the easiest way to do it is to just search for the song you want to move. Because you can have hundreds of songs. I have hundreds of songs. So, the way that it is named, though, is it's the name of the song. So, if you use Beat Drop, it's not the artist. It's the name of the song that you're looking for. So, if we want this one, we search for 9 in the Afternoon, not Panic at the Disco. If you search for Panic at the Disco, you won't get a result. Or you might just get a result of a single file. Now, each song has its own folder. So if we go into this 9 in the Afternoon, you can see it has a whole bunch of different files. These are the files that song needs in order for Beat Saber to play it. We aren't going to move any individual files. We are going to move the entire folder. If you have duplicates, like I have duplicates because Beat Saber likes to download it for each playlist, you need to delete. Or if you renamed the folder, that's perfect. This is also a good reason why you need to rename the folder. Because we don't want any duplicates left in the custom levels folder. We want none of the songs that we're moving to be left. None of them. So if I move this guy, all we're going to do is Control X and Control V. We're just going to move it. Make sure that the folder is moved. It's not copied, it's moved. And that's it. So you're going to do that for every single song that's listed here. Every song you want in your playlist needs to be moved. Its folder needs to be moved to a folder that is called that name of the playlist. And as you can see, this guy isn't even inside my playlist folder because the folder location doesn't matter. It's easier to put it in here. In fact, we're just going to move it here because it just makes more sense. So I have two playlists that I've converted. Well, started to convert. And now, once you have that, so once you have a folder that's named every playlist, and inside of each folder, you have the songs that are for that playlist, so the songs that are on each playlist, you're going to need a cover photo. Now, you could just point straight to this one, but if this ever gets deleted, your playlist will get screwed up. It'll turn into a hassle if you try to just point Beat Saber to a song's cover photo. So what you're going to do is inside of each playlist folder, you're going to choose any song you want. And you're just going to copy, don't move it, copy it, because the song actually needs it. And you're going to paste it into the folder, into the playlist folder. And you're just going to call it cover.jpg. So this one is cover_jpg. We would rename that. We would want it to be just cover.jpg. And it's going to yell at me because I already have that. And then that's it as far as creating the folders. That's all you got to do. But now that we have the folder set up with all the songs and any cover photo inside of here, we need to go through and we need to tell Beat Saber that these folders exist. So we're going to come on back here. Now inside of your Beat Saber location, inside of your main folder for Beat Saber, there is a user data folder. Go inside the user data folder, and inside that there's a song core folder. Go inside of that. Inside of that you will see two files. We only care about this folders.xml. Open it. But don't open it with WordPad. Don't do that. Open it with Notepad or Notepad++ or Visual Studio. Anything that doesn't wrap the text. So we're going to use Notepad. Now inside of this file, you will see it gives a comment. This is a comment. And then it gives you an example. So your example will not match my example, but your example will have two things. And it will say example, and then it will say example. Delete the example, or delete everything you can, or leave it and just change it. So what you want to do is you want this folder section here, from this folder to this folder, and you want that copied as many times as you have playlists. We have two, so we already converted two of our playlists. So we have two folder sections. Now what you're going to do is this basically tells you what each thing is, but you want the name is going to be your playlist name. That's the name that you're going to see in Beat Saber. Now, when we were naming our folders, we named our folder the exact same name. Now, we could have named this folder, you know, whatever, and it wouldn't have mattered because this is the name that Beat Saber is going to show you. It's not going to show you the folder name. But if you name the folder the exact same thing, then it makes it easy. So you want to name this the playlist name. So just change the text inside of this to match whatever you want your playlist name to be. Give it the full path. So, we changed it, so that path is invalid now. But give it the full path to the folder location, the playlist folder, not any of the songs, not any of the song folders, just the playlist folder. And then you're going to want it to be pack type 2. Now, it doesn't really explain much, well, it doesn't explain clearly what pack type 2 means, but pack 2 means that it will put it into its own playlist. So think of a pact as a playlist. So when you're in Beat Saber, you see a WIP playlist and you see the custom levels playlist. Songcore calls those packs. So if you put it as type 1, then all the songs are just going to appear in the custom levels playlist, which it already kind of does, so it's kind of pointless. If you do it, that's type 0. Type 1 is the WIP, so that WIP playlist, any songs you put with type 1 will appear in that WIP playlist. It won't appear as its own playlist. But type 2 says create its own playlist. So that's what we want. WIP, we want false. Do not put that to true. It will sit here and you might get confused because it says if pack is type 2, which it is, the song will be basically treated as WIP and only playable in practice mode. But it also says use true or false. So it's not automatically going to treat it as WIP just because we put it as pack type 2. So a little confusing. I could have explained that a lot better, but we want this to be false because we do not want it to only be playable in practice mode. So make it false. Always, always false. Then, because we're using type 2, it says it will attempt to load an image as the cover, which is the little image you see for the playlist. So we point it to that file that we copied over, that cover.jpg file, inside of a playlist folder. And the reason why we're doing this is because if we delete a song from that playlist, say we wanted to change the playlist, we no longer wanted, 7 Rings by Ariana Grande in this folder, in this playlist, we would just simply delete it. But if this image path pointed to this cover photo and we deleted it, then this path is no longer valid. And we would have to come in here and make sure we change this, or this could end up breaking the playlist. And we don't want any of that. And that is exactly why we copied over any of these songs, their cover photos, into a new file called cover photo or cover.jpg. And that's basically it. That's all you need. But you have to do this for each and every playlist that you want to show up. And then once you do that, just save this file. Make sure it's correct. It needs. Make sure you didn't get any paths wrong. You didn't delete a bracket that you're that's important, or else this file will not load correctly. But as long as you didn't do anything wrong, just go ahead and save the file, and then launch Beat Saber. And when you launch Beat Saber, you will see this. That's it. You're done. It is that simple to get playlists back. It's tedious, but it's simple.